Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife video for you today. We're going to have a long one. This is a video about all of my American-made knives. Yes, all of them, with the exception of maybe a couple of like case traditionals and stuff I float around. These are all of my American-made knives. I'm just going to go through knife case by knife case and just pull them out and show them to you, talk about them very briefly, and move on as quickly as I can because there are a lot. Before we get into this, the reason why I'm doing it, yes, there are a lot of, my best American knife kind of videos out there right now. I thought I'd just show all of them instead of picking the best. And give you guys a fairly long video to go through if you just want to sit and listen to it for a bit, even if you're not paying attention to every single one. Maybe your ears will perk up at one. I'm not going to link to every single knife. I'm not going to link to every single like review and things like that. It's just too much. But I am going to timestamp by brand down below. So if there's a particular brand you don't like and you want to skip past that, you can do that, because that's kind of how I have my things arranged in my knife cases. So it's going to wind up going by brand anyway. I do want to answer very, very quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I will answer more fully in a later video, probably in my my 15,000 sub giveaway kind of interview thing, because a lot of you guys asked, am I going to continue reviewing Chinese knives? I know a couple of channels have taken a stand and said they're not going to do that anymore because of what's going on. Short answer, yes, I am. That is going to continue. I consider myself a journalist. I'm covering things. I'm not making an opinion about what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy. I tell you if something's Chinese or if it's American. I'm going to continue doing it. So without getting into anything too political or anything like that afterwards, let's just get going. So case by case, knife case by knife case. First one, I have two vault cases. They're kind of too big to show here on the camera, but both of those contain some fancier stuff, or at least difficult to get stuff, and a whole lot of American stuff. So we're going to start with those. Start off with the first one here. Of course, it's Hinderers. You guys know that. It's me. I like Hinderers. I have a few Hinderers, more than a few, several. I think I'm into several now. First one I want to show you guys would be, of course, you guys have seen this one a lot if you watch the live streams and stuff. This is an XM18 with the titanium battle bronze Warthog scale from DLT Trading. It's just a regular slicer. And also I got the battle bronze clip and the battle bronze filler tab recently to fill it out, I guess, and make it look right. I tried to match other bronze clips to this, and I just eventually tried to heat treat them myself and stuff, heat anodize them myself. Wound up giving in and just getting the proper Hinderer parts. It looks really good, and it is done. You will see almost all of my Hinderers are modified. But this one is done now. I love it. It was a gift from a viewer, and it's great. It's just, I used to be in the Flying Tigers in the Air Force, we had that same Warthog on the nose of our A-10s. So I do really like that. 23rd Fighter Wing a little bit there. Just kind of remind me of stuff. Love this knife. It's never going anywhere. This will probably get passed on to my son, I imagine. Next up, another XM18, which is funny because the XM18 really isn't even my favorite Hinderer, but I wound up with three of them somehow. This is a DLT Trading exclusive. This is the Spear Point Fuller in the working finish. This is not the scale that it came with, but it is a Hinderer proper scale. I think it was just plain black when I got it. I do really, really like this one, primarily because you can do this. You can Spidey flick it. So that's why this is the XM18 I probably carry the most right now, although the next one is vying for that. I just got it. So but I do really, really love this knife a whole lot. I love the working finish. I will endeavor to, if I buy, let's be honest, when I buy more Hinderers, I will try and get the working finish. Though I don't have anything in the battle black, and I do kind of want a battle black very badly, but I like the fullered spear. I love the look of it. I love that you can Spidey flick it. I love all this. I love all that about it. Other than that, it's a regular Gen 6 M390 instead of 20CV, which is kind of the same stuff. Just a regular XM18, forward choil, all that stuff. But very, very nice one. Also a gift from the same viewer. He is a blessing and a curse to me. And then next up we have my final XM18. This is the newest one. This is a USA Made Blade exclusive Skinny Skinner. I do really, really, really like these Skinny XM18s. Was not expecting to like it very much. Was not expecting to like it so much that when it came as a loaner, I offered to buy it. It was not this color when I got it. You'll be seeing a full review of this very shortly, probably in the next couple of days. But I did swap it out to this is a genuine Hinderer G10, blue G10 scale. I got the blue because when I had in my mind's eye, when I first started thinking about getting an XM18, I just had the blue kind of in my mind's eye. That's the one I wanted. I never wound up with one. So when I got this one, dropped some extra coin and got the blue scale. It came with a green G10. You can obviously get them stock with the blue, but mine came with the green G10, and I don't like green, so got the blue one. And I did swap out some of the hardware. Again, this is all genuine Hinderer stuff, but got the blue clip, the blue nuts, and the blue filler tab. I think this one's pretty much done too. I could get the blue standoffs, but I don't think I'm gonna. I think it looks pretty good the way it is, and I'm pretty happy with it. And this is gonna be more of a user anyway. Tell it's a skinny by the S on the flipper tab. The thing I like the most about the S, first of all, this Skinner blade, I did not think I would like it very, very much. They're a bit thinner, a bit slicier, but they also, I like the way they fit in the handle a bit better, and the detent isn't quite as strong. So that kind of weird flipper tab that also acts as a finger guard isn't nearly as difficult to open. You don't hit the jimping as much. The jimping is a little thinner. And again, I can reverse flick this one. I can't do that with any of my other XM18s because the detent is too hard, other than obviously the speared fuller. But my regular XM18, I can't possibly grab the blade stop and flip it open like that. It's just way too stiff. But you can on the skinnies because the detent, obviously, it's got a thinner lock bar because it's a thinner knife, so it does open really well. Next up, probably my favorite Hinderer model, and it is a fairly new one, the Jurassic. This has been upgraded with sharp dress knives scales. This is a canvas micarta that just looks amazing. Have a carbon one for it as well. And I did put bronze hardware on it that I had from a failed attempt to try and get this to match on the Warthog one. But it looks great on this one. And yeah, this one's pretty much done too. I'm not doing anything else to it. This is probably the one that I carry and use the most. I do love the Jurassic a whole lot, always have. And this one just looks fantastic. Not worried about beating it up too much. It's micarta. You're kind of supposed to. I just love the ergos on it. It's the best ergos of any Hinderer that I've ever held. And it's just a pleasure to use. Not as big as the XM18 3.5s that you saw. Oh, by the way, all those were 3.5s. I don't have any 3-inch ones. But it's just great in the hand. I really do enjoy the Jurassic a whole ton. Can't wait to see more of them in different blade shapes and stuff. This is just the slicer grind, which is one of my favorite Hinderer grinds, so no problem there. But I'm interested to see what else they do. A Wharncliffe of this would be really, really sweet. Speaking of Wharncliffes, the last Hinderer, this is my USA Made Blade exclusive half-track Warnie. And this is really nice. I do like it a lot. I had a previous USA Made Blade exclusive half-track full titanium with a Spanto blade. Not the biggest fan of the Spanto, and it was very, very pricey. So I sold that and got something a little bit cheaper, and with this Wharncliffe blade that I knew I would like better. This gets a lot of pocket time as well. The half-track is just a really nice knife to carry, and it's just a nice knife to use, and I love this Wharncliffe blade. Very good for utilitarian EDC purposes. It is fantastic. All of those, I didn't go into the price of each individual one because they're all upgraded. All of them start somewhere in the low 400s, 400, 425, something like that. Now let's move on to the second row of these. Got to move some stuff around. We have another kind of quintessential USA Made knife. As I'm slipping off the thumb studs, we have a Reeve Sebenza 31. Just got this one pretty recently, a few weeks ago. I've been carrying the snot out of it. It's the 31. You can tell the difference. Doesn't have the locating hole. There are a few other upgrades. There's a full review of this if you want to go search for it. Again, about that low to mid 400 range, but I really do love it a whole lot. It's just very comfortable. It's everything that I loved about my Sebenza 21, but better. You can flick it more easily because the pocket clip doesn't rest on the lock bar anymore. I very much appreciate that. I did take the lanyard off. You're not going to see any lanyards on here. If you're lanyard fans, sorry. I don't like lanyards. Anything I had that came with a lanyard, I took off. So you can flick it a little easier. It's still not like a fidget fun kind of knife. As you can see, I just failed flipping it open there. But you can flick it a lot easier than the previous one. And it's just, quintessential awesomeness. It's just so well made. Reeve does such a good job. It's just such a timeless design Of course I have to have one. This one I'm going to keep around for a while. My 21 I did not keep for very long, and I missed it and kind of wish that I had. This one I'm going to do my darndest to hold on to for a very long time, because it's just an amazing knife. Now, next up we get into the TRMs. First up has to be the Atom, Three Rivers Manufacturing. I love the Atom, one of my absolute all-time favorites, if not my favorite. Very slicey, again, 3.5-inch blade, a little bigger than the Neutron. Super comfortable in the hands, super light and easy to carry, amazing pocket clip. Currently wearing their Techwood scales, but there are many scales available for this, and I also have many. I think I have 5 sets of them now, but this is the one that winds up on there the most. I just love the way it looks, and it's just so comfortable in the hand and so freaking slicey. 20 CV again, superbly well made, and great company to deal with. You can't find nicer people than Les and Marianne over at TRM. Just a great company. Action on it is super, super smooth. This one is well used and well broken in, and I do really like it. The only thing that ever happened to it was my wife threw it on the floor one day. I'm not going to get into that because I love her, but she chipped the blade. I fixed it myself, so I copied the factory edge as best as I could, but I did have to do a fair bit of sharpening on it to get rid of that chip, but came out pretty good. Still just as slicey as it ever was. And I love the Atom. Atom is an amazing knife. And currently, I only have one other TRM. I think that's probably going to change in the relatively near future. But right now, I only have one other one, and that is the Atlas. Slip joint, pretty small knife. I do travel a fair bit, often going to countries that you can't have a locking knife or one hand open, namely Germany. They have this weird law where it can be one hand open or locking, but not both. This is the knife that I take with me, and it's a great knife for that. It's just a knife that's not going to bother anybody, not particularly big. You can see these are 1-inch squares. It's a pretty small knife. It's just not going to offend anybody, and it's a great knife. Still very, very slicey. Just as slicey as the Atom, you just have much less blade there. S35 VN on this one. These are a little less expensive. The Atom is somewhere in the 200, 220 range, where these are just a bit under. I think they're like 170, something like that. Again, don't quote me on all these prices. There's so many knives on this. I'm not going to be able to get them all right. But the ergos are great. It carries very well. Fits in a 5th pocket really well. It's just, I love the Atlas a lot. And now I'm going to move on to the next case. Okay, on to the second vault case. We'll start out with the Microtechs. I have talked about this a lot, so I think you guys, if you've been watching recent videos, you probably know what these next 3 are. I have built, in my opinion, my ultimate 3-knife Microtech collection. I'm going to try and stop there, but we'll see how that goes. But first up, a fairly new addition just in the last few days. We have, you can tell by the sound, a Microtech SOCOM Elite. This is the Tanto version. You can about $290 for one of these. Microtechs, I'm going to say, I've heard other people say it the same way. If you see the one you want, buy it. They're not horribly expensive. At $290, this is the most expensive Microtech that I have, which is not inexpensive. I'm not going to say it's pocket change, but they're not horribly priced. They're just kind of rare. They go in very small lots. You can always find, if you want a SOCOM Elite, you can find a SOCOM Elite anytime you want. Finding the one you want, because it comes in so many different versions, is wherein the issue lies. That's that way with all Microtechs. I'm fortunate that I got 3 that I really like the way they look. Now, this one took a long time, about 14 months to find the exact one that I wanted, because I really wanted a Tanto and I really wanted a plain black handle with a stonewash blade. And every time I had the money, they were gone, and vice versa. So it is tip down only carry, but that's fine for a big old tactical knife like this, and I really love it. It's the action on it is ridiculously smooth. Yeah, I don't think I've had it on camera since I tore it apart and serviced it, but... And that sound, man, that's never going to get old. And the action, it's just so good. Love the SOCOM Elite. If you're going to have one big, expensive, semi-silly tactical knife, SOCOM Elite all day long. Next up, this is the first, well, not the first OTF I owned. I guess I had some cheap, crappy ones, but my first good OTF I've owned, and that would be the UTX 85. This is a one with the red handle. I don't know if this is the Merlot or the red. It says red on the box, but when I look at the pictures of the Merlot, it looks more like the Merlot, so I'm not really sure. But it's a UTX 85 with the partially coated blade. If I would have bought it brand new, I did get this used. If I'd bought it brand new, I might have hunted out for the Stonewash, but I really like the way this one looks so much now that I have it that I probably would have regretted it in the end, because I really do love the look of this. And typical Microtech action. Pretty stiff spring. You got to give it a good push to get it to deploy, but it's a lot of fun. And I love the look of it. I love the size of the UTX 85. This is perfect for me. It's a very light and easy knife to carry. If you're going to EDC an automatic, this is a pretty good one to get. And next up, this one is not in the case because it is in my pocket, and this is one I just got. I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to record this tonight, gonna finish tomorrow morning. So this is one I just got today. So if you guys probably have just watched this video recently, the LUDT in purple matches the Slicey Dicey purple pretty freaking perfectly. And man, I do like this. This is 1 day honeymoon period, I admit, but super thin behind the edge blade, super thin blade stock. Very, very slicey. Looks great, feels great, and yeah, she bangs. I love this thing. It is, you guys kept bugging me and bugging me and bugging me and bugging me to get one, and I finally did, and it is amazing. And only about 240 bucks. Oh, the UTX 85 previously, I said I was gonna be bad about giving the prices. Still am being bad about giving the prices. The UTX 85 before, like 250, 260-ish, so I'm in that particular configuration. So again, Microtech's not crazily expensive. You're getting awesome steel. M390 on this one, and it was 204p on my UTX 85. You're getting really good steel. It's just they're a bit hard to get your hands on. But yeah, this one, searched around for an ADT because you guys kept bugging me about it. About a week ago, I looked again, kind of half-heartedly, because you guys kept bugging me, and I had a little bit of extra money, and I thought, maybe I'll look and see if I can find the LUDT I want, and I saw this purple one, and I jumped on it. If you see the one you want, get it. Again, came with a lanyard. They all come with a lanyard installed. That got cut off in the unboxing video, so don't like lanyards, but yeah, this thing is awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we are on to the Protex, which... again, the first one is another one I got today at the time I'm recording this. So this one I initially got, I knew I kind of liked it from the videos, but the other videos I'd seen of it, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get one or not. So I try not to watch other people's review videos. This one I kind of sort of cheated on. I wasn't really sure if I was going to get one, so I watched some other videos. But I got one, and I already know after a day. It's staying around. This is the Invictus from Prometheus Design Vax and Protech collaboration. I just like saying it like that because they spell it W-E-R-X, and it just makes me giggle. So I apologize if I'm offending anyone about that, but super comfortable knife. Love the forward choil on it. I'm kind of embarrassed because I did a video a while ago, like a week ago, maybe, at the time of recording this, where I drew a knife. And I didn't mean to draw this, but that is kind of what I did. I didn't even realize at the time I did the video. But yeah, my drawing, I wound up looking a lot like this. Completely different blade, but other than that, it looks a whole lot like this. So that might need to get changed. I'm never going to make it anyway, so I don't know why I care. But fantastic knife, about $290. This one is pretty pricey, 154 cm steel. But nice deep carry clip, great ergos, and it's that Protech quality. I think in the unboxing video, I said that the button was sticking a bit. I've been playing with it all day. It's already gone, which I kind of figured that would happen. I've only had one other Protech that did that with, and it didn't take long for it to go away, and it's gone away now as well. So love this thing. It will definitely be around for a while. And this knife and the knife you saw previously, the LUDT, will be in a battle to the death probably in the next couple weeks. I'm doing a whole lot of auto content lately, so I'm going to try and space it out a bit more. I've just been on auto kick lately. Next up, probably my currently favorite Protech and one of my favorite autos that I own, honestly. That would be the SBR. Pretty small knife. Again, these are 1-inch squares, you can see. Not that big. Not horribly expensive, like 170, something like that. S35 VN. It's a Les George design. It's just fits the hand very well. It's a small blade, but man, it totally fills my hand. It's super comfortable, and it probably kicks harder than any of the out-the-side autos I've ever experienced. I don't know if it's just the size of it or whatever, but man, it just feels like it kicks like the proverbial mule. Does not get old. It does not get old at all. We'll put this one away and bring out the next one. I think we have 3 more Protechs to go. So next up, this is one I've really fallen in love with. This is the Protech Newport. Not at all new. This is just the base model Newport. Again, somewhere in that mid-hundreds range. I just really, really enjoy it. S35VN again. It's very slim, very light, very easy to carry, extremely slicey blade. I've been carrying the snot out of this. I've had it for most of this month, and at the end of April here, when I do my most carried of the month, I think this might make the list. I'm not sure. If it doesn't, it's right on the edge. Ever since I got it several weeks ago, it's just been in my pocket a whole lot. It just cuts so well. It's so comfortable in the hand. It just carries so well. I really, really do like this a whole lot. You can get in a bunch of fancy pants versions. This is basically the most basic one you can get, but I kind of like it like that. It looks pretty cool. I just really do enjoy it. The Newport is a fantastic model. Next up would be the Calmigo. This is not a completely standard one. This is not the most boring version. This is the Tron. So it has the milled scales in it and stuff. This is a California legal auto. So it means it has less than 2-inch blades. So it's a little sucker, but it's again, it just fills the hand really well. Very thick handle, so it still fills the hand excellently. I don't love the coated blade on it, but it's fine. 154 cm again. And again, you're down like, these are like 140. It has the safety on it. Meh. The Invictus had a safety on it too, but you know, whatever. I just don't think those are very necessary when you have such a recessed button, but you have what you have. I really thought I'd get rid of this in pretty short order because I thought I'm not really gonna like the Calmigo. I'll probably just sell it, but I don't know. It's just so cute. I keep it around. Sound like Frankie from Birdshot 4. It's just cute, and I just like having it around. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't carry it a ton, but it's a lot of fun, and it still has that Protech bang. It's not as pronounced because it's got a tiny little blade it's flicking out. So just inertia, you know, it's not going to go kabang, you know, like the Invictus or the SBR does. But, and then the last Protech, this is actually a collaboration. So was the Invictus, but this is the Protech Ferrum Forge Mordax that was marketed by Mass Drop and Now Drop. Love this thing. It's just so smooth. Button lock, manual. It's not an auto. Fills the hand very well, like all Ferrum Forge designs do, and it's just impeccably made. Here's a very rare titanium version of this that I would love to get my hands on. But I'm not sure if that's made by Protech or if that's just Ferrum Forge making it using Protech bits. I'm not really certain about that one. There was very few. They were very expensive, and I didn't get one, so I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But I love the Mordax a whole lot. There is another Protech manual coming, the Malibu, that is not a drop thing. It's just straight from Protech. I'm getting one of those, and I'm super stoked about that. Don't have it yet. Don't know when I will. But, yeah, so there'll be a 6th Protech around, and I don't know. Maybe the Calmigo will go away. Who knows? All right, now we're going to go on to 3 just kind of onesie-twosies that I only have one each of. Another one is another drop collaboration. It's pretty rare when Mass Drop or Drop does American-made knives, but they have done a couple. That Mordax, and this is the Perpetua, designed by TJ Schwartz, made by Millet Knives. I really like this. It has that axis-y sort of lock. I can't remember what they call it on this one. Nitro V steel. It's the only one I have with Nitro V. It's pretty rare steel. Very, very simple design, which disappears against this background. Just kind of a mid-size EDC. A lot of people call it like a blocky or Griptilian. I guess kind of. It's about that size. I think they do it even a bit better job with the axis lock than Benchmade does. It just feels a bit more sturdy, and I just like it a whole lot. Don't love the pocket clip on it. Other than that, great knife. And now, right now, at the time I'm recording this, I think anyway, they're like $100 on drop. So they're really, really cheap, and just for what they are, and just a very, very cool knife. Definitely like the Perpetua a whole lot. It took me a long time to get the first one of these, and I sold it, and then somebody got me one for my birthday. So I do like having that back again. Next up would be the Southern Grind Spider Monkey. The only Southern Grind I've got, but it's a good one. It's a good one, and I like it. This knife, it has a bit of a story behind it. I went to Blade HQ, toured the place, shot a couple videos with them. In thanks, they said, hey, you know, you can get whatever you want at cost, but only one. And this is not what I was intending to get. I tried like the 3 knives I was intending to get. Then Melinda, lovely woman who was working behind the counter, made me try one of these. And I said, yeah, no, I want that one. That's the one I want. I just immediately fell in love with it. I always kind of liked the look of them, but I'd never held one. As soon as I got one in my hand, Southern Grind owners out there, Spider Monkey owners, it's just one of these things. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. I've multiple times flirted with the idea of sending this off to USA Made Blade to get everything bronzed out. They do a beautiful job with that, and they sell them all completely bronzed out on their site. I've thought about sending mine off to get that done to it, but I've just never gotten off my arse to do it. I do have the tool to take it apart and everything. Those use some proprietary hardware, which ain't great. About $220 for this carbon one, and I really, really do love it a whole lot. And next up, this is a recent addition that I maybe have shown in some live shows, but this is a well-used knife that I just bought from my buddy Jeremy. This is another automatic. This is a Guardian Tactical Recon 035. It is not the configuration that I probably would have bought. If I bought a new one, I probably would have gotten the Stonewash blade. But other than that, it's pretty much what I wanted, and it's well-used, and he gave me a very good price on it, and I just needed to experience a Guardian. The action is just ridiculously smooth and easy. You could sit there and do that all day, mostly because it has this nice stainless steel surface, and there's 2 ceramic balls under here, under the firing button that let it slide very easily. And just excellent action. A bit boring in looks, I'll be honest. I'm not in love with the looks of it. I'm not in love with a couple other aspects of it, but love that action so much, and the deal was right. Had to do it. Okay, on to the next case. I think we're going to do the Spydercos next. Okay, here we go. On to the Spydercos. Again, only the USA made one. Spyderco makes knives in whole lots of places, but we're just going to stick with American made for this one. So let's get going. The first one, of course, it's a paramilitary too. This happens to be the old Knife Center exclusive crew wear version. Golden, Colorado, USA Earth with the Smooth G10. It's my favorite PM2 I've ever had. It's the one that gets stuck around all the time. It's the one I use for size comparisons. You see this one all the time. Probably do need to clean that blade off a little bit and maybe put some more EDCI on it. Is it starting? No, it's not corrosion. It's just got crap on it. Crewware is not a stainless steel, so that's why I'm bringing that up. You do have to keep an eye on it a little bit. It's not too bad. It's not any worse than like D2. So as long as you keep some kind of coating on it, I prefer that Aegis EDCI stuff. But as long as you keep some kind of coating on it, they're not bad. Love the Smooth G10 scales. Some people have asked if I was going to put aftermarket scales. I actually had a company offer to give me some aftermarket scales for it. I said, you know what, I'm kind of happy with the ones I got. It's just, I love the Smooth G10. And it's just, it's PM2. Great ergonomics, all that stuff. It's a blast. I do like this a whole lot. Next up would be the Para 3 Lightweight. Again, Golden, Colorado. This is the only Para 3 that I have. I know a lot of people really, really love the Para 3. The G10 one has never really blown my skirt up. This one being a little bit lighter, a little bit cheaper. It works really good for size comparisons, so it's the one that I kept around. But I do really like it, and I do actually carry it. Probably more than the PM2, to be honest with you. Just the BD1N steel. I am looking at a Spy 27 version of it whenever those are out. It will probably get an upgrade then, and I'll probably move this one along. But it does get carried a fair bit, and they're very inexpensive, like $90. Oh, PM2s, by the way, look at about 120 something. I'm going to be horrible with the prices. I apologize, but ergos are very good. I still don't think it's a pretty thing at all. I still think the Para 3 in any of its forms is pretty ugly. But this one's less expensive. It's a bit lighter, and it has a much better pocket clip coming with a wire pocket clip. I think that's the thing I like the most about the lightweight as compared to the standard one. And because you buy a standard one, 120 something, whatever, and then you have to go and buy a deep carry clip to actually make it carry properly. So I hate that about it. Just the way they place the lanyard hole, it's just silly. But do love the lightweight a whole lot. Next up would be the Shaman. This is one of those knives so nice. I bought it twice. I had a Shaman. I sold it because I was mad because the price increase went up. These are over $200 now. They're like $203. That's pretty silly. But I did get this in a trade with a friend, and so I wound up not laying much money out for it. Very happy to have one back again. I do really love the knife. I just hate the price. S30V, kind of a big bruiser of a thing, but the ergos are just fantastic on it. And yeah, the Shaman is just a lot of fun. Bit funky with the axis lock. You got to get your finger out of the way because you can see that little nub comes into where you're touching the compression lock. So a little flaw with the Shaman for sure. Also, it doesn't carry very deep, but it doesn't bother me as much on the Shaman just because it's just so big anyway that it's kind of silly if you're trying to hide it. I did have a deep carry clip on my old one. Didn't put one on this one. Probably not going to bother, to be honest with you. It's fine the way it is. But yeah, this one has a beautiful aftermarket edge from my buddy Mike. Nice custom edge he put on it before he traded it to me. And I do love the Shaman a whole lot. Just hate the price. Next up would be in that same sort of family, because they do consider the Shaman part of the native lineup, would be the Native Chief. I have professed multiple times I think this is the most underrated Spyderco they make. It is fantastic. I like it much better than the military or the police 4. S30V, about 170 bucks. Simple backlock, but I just think the ergos are just so good on it. I think it carries better than either the police or the military. This knife, honestly, in the pocket, I almost tried to do a compression lock with it. Honestly, carries smaller than a PM2. It feels smaller in the pocket than a PM2, and it is much larger than a PM2. It's a big sucker. It's a full-on 4-inch blade. Yeah, measuring it off camera here. Yeah, it's every bit of 4 inches. It's just a big knife, completely ambidextrous, right hand, left hand, tip up, tip down. It's just a really, really, really good knife. And about, yeah, 170 for these, 168 I think it is. And next up, my favorite little fifth pocket knife there is, the Little Native, also in that same family. This is the compression lock one. I think they did it in a back lock. I keep hearing rumors of a slip joint. I haven't seen it yet, but you can do all the cool Spyderco stuff. You can Spidey flick it, all that stuff. It's got the fun compression lock to play with, but it fits in a little fifth pocket. And if you choke up on it like they mean for you to, it totally fills all. You get all 4 fingers on it. Just a great little fifth pocket knife, box opener kind of thing. And yeah, the Little Native is amazing. And they do a whole bunch of sprints of this, so you can get them all kinds of different steels and stuff. Same with the Shaman, same with the Native Chief. Obviously, same with the Para 3 and the PM2. Basically, it kind of goes without saying. If it's a Spyderco made in Golden, Colorado, there are sprint runs galore. Next up, one of the most common questions I get asked is, what knife got you to start the channel? I did a video on it, but it's this one. And this is it. This is the OG. This is my Manix 2 lightweight, the original old BD1 version. And this was the first knife I think I bought that I was like, okay, knives are cool. This is cool. I want to get more. And yeah, this is kind of, I love the Manix 2. In some ways I like it better than the PM2. Mostly the ergonomics. I have skinny fingers, but they're really long. So I do appreciate a knife that I can just wrap all 4 fingers all the way around and not be really digging into my palm. The Manix 2 has always definitely been that. These are pretty inexpensive. I think they're around like $100, and they're just nice wire clip. Not deep carry, but I still like the wire clip anyway. Multi-directional GFN, fancy plastic. The only thing I regret on this one is that I got this plain black one instead of the translucent blue. I had the option at the store I was buying it from, and I chose the black because at the time I thought blue knives are stupid, and now I don't feel that way. But other than that, I love it. It comes in a bunch of different versions. The only way, I would never get rid of this. The only way this would get surpassed, I guess, is I do kind of have a desire for a Maximat one, but they're pretty pricey. You're looking at $185 or something, and it's still just fancy plastic handles. So I don't know about that, but if I ever bought something at Maximat, it would probably be one of these. All right, here we go on to the final case. The end is in sight, and we have, first up, some Benchmades. A true icon, one of my all-time favorite Benchmades, one of my all-time favorite EDC knives, honestly. The 940. This is a 940-1. meaning that it has the S90V and the carbon fiber handles. And I did put a bug out deep carry clip on it. I think those work really well on 940s. I don't think they need much more than that. And it's just very comfortable in the hand. For me, I know some people think it's a little too thin. It could be thicker, but even my long fingers, I do well with it. The blade's not the best slicer in the world. And honestly, S90V for me is not one of my favorite steels. It's just very difficult to sharpen. It does hold an edge forever, but man, it is not easy. But I love the carbon fiber on this one. I've had 4 940s and I think 4, maybe 5, 4 I think, and 2 of them have been this. So obviously I like it. I sold it and bought it back again. Love the 940. Awesome knife. About $277 for this version, though. You're getting way, way, way up there. 270, something, 280, something. They're pretty expensive, but it is my favorite version. Next up, we have the Benchmade Super Freak. 560 BK-1, am I right? I'm not so great on the numbers on some of the Benchmades, especially when we all just call this the Super Freak. It is the M4 multi-layer G10 version of the regular Freak, which has those grivery handles with the grippy stuff and S30V. I don't care for that one much at all. I don't like that grippy stuff. I did put a deep carry clip on this one. Pretty sure anyway. Yeah, it came with a regular one because I remember switching it back and forth for reviews. Love the color scheme on this. It looks very Deadpool-y, and it is a shout out to Deadpool. I've heard from several people that it was meant to be that. So I do like that a whole lot because I'm a huge Deadpool fan. Wearing a Deadpool t-shirt actually as I'm recording this. But very comfortable in the hand. I love the feel of this G10, which also you're going to see in the next one. I love when Benchmade does this textured but quasi-polished G10. I just think it feels really good. I love the M4 steel. If I have any complaint about this knife, it's that it's coated. I wish the blade wasn't coated, but it does fit with the aesthetic. So I kind of get it, but Benchmade coats all their blades that are not fully stainless, which I think is just kind of a nanny thing to do. We can handle it. I can keep them from corroding if I want to, or let them patina if I want to. I just don't like that almost all their, unless you're going like the custom shop, almost all their non-stainless blades are coated. And this one is, oh gosh, I don't remember. High hundreds. I can't remember the price on that one. It's flown out of my head. Next up, we have a full-size Griptilian, and this is, again, with that same kind of G10, blue inside on this one, and the 20 CV with the arachnid-esque hole in the sheep's foot blade. This is by far my favorite Griptilian. I don't much care for the grivery handle versions. I don't know, they just feel cheap to me. I've never really liked them, and it's the grippy part of the Griptilian name is too aggressive on those for my taste, and the small Griptilians just don't fit my hands very well. So I much prefer this version. It's by far my favorite, and I honestly got this just to do a comparison review of the Super Freak and thought I was gonna sell it immediately, and no, I like it. I keep them both, and I have no plans on selling either of them. I like the blue. I just love a whole lot of things about this knife. It's just really, really nice. Next up, something new for this year. It says the CF Elite version of the Presidio 2. Very reasonably priced. Like 131 bucks, which is not bad at all for a Benchmade S30V. This CF Elite is basically like your FRN, but instead of fiberglass, there's carbon fiber in it. And I love the way it looks on the Presidio 2. I've not tried the Mini yet. I'm definitely going to, but I have not yet. Because I just really like this full-size one enough that I just wanted to keep it around. So it's made me less motivated to try the small one, which is probably not good. But I had the aluminum version previously. Much prefer this version, and it is much cheaper. It did come with the deep carry clip. Just a great knife. Big fan of the Presidio 2 CF Elite. And then lastly, for the Benchmades, we have a gaggle of bug outs. It seems like anybody who's into Benchmade now, you wind up with more than one. This is one I'm in the process of modifying. It's not quite done yet. It does have these amazing black burlap micarta scales from RC Blade Works, which I truly do love, but I'm hunting hardware to replace, or I might just wind up stripping this. And may stonewash the blade. I'm kind of backing off on that a little bit, but that was the original plan, but I'm not sure I will now. But Very, very nice knife. I do very much enjoy carrying this one, and I love the way it's turning out. I did the opposite. I put a non-deep carry clip on this because for ergonomic reasons, it just, with these scales, it seemed to work better without the deep carry clip. It just feels a lot better in the hand. But I do really, really love the bug out, and I love it in this version. Next up, a stock bug out. What? We have the CF Elite bug out. I do think of the production, off-the-shelf bug outs, this is the best one. Again, I don't like that they coated the blade. It's S30V, especially no reason to do that on this. But with the CF Elite, it does have stiffer scales. You don't have half as much of that scale flex that everybody complains about. That never really bothered me much, but it is nice not to have it, I guess. But yeah, I do like the CF Elite a whole lot. And they're not hugely dramatically more priced. I can't remember what you think is like 140, something like that. It's not a huge jump in price to get one of these, so I'd recommend getting one of these if you're going to get a full-size bug out. And next up, we have a mini bug out, which I have also modified. This was, I don't like the colors the bug out came in. It came in white with a black blade, like this one used to be, the Stormtrooper variant, or in orange with a satin blade. And I hate orange. White's easier to dye, so I got the Stormtrooper version and dyed it red. Now it's a Sith Trooper. That's my Star Wars nerdness. But yeah, it's I do like the mini bug out a lot. I'm not sure I like it better than the full size. A lot of people do. I can't say that I really do. It barely fits my hand, but I don't. The full size bug out was so light. I mean, unless it's a legality issue and you need it under 3-inch, I don't know. I prefer the larger one. It's so light. Who cares that this is a little bit lighter? At some point, there's just diminishing returns there, but it is under 3 inches, which if you're in an area where you have to have that, which I am sometimes, it's good for that. And now we will move on to the ZTs and Kershaws, of which I'm shocked at how few I have. So, first up, the only ZT I have at the moment, the 0562 tie, Hinderer design. Obviously, I like Hinderers. I think this is the best thing ZT makes. I love it. I really, it's just a great freaking knife. It makes an amazing noise. It's very lightweight for being a full tie frame lock, about 280 bucks. That doesn't get old. Nice deep carry clip on it. I really do love the 0562 tie, but it is the only ZT I own. I have thought about more of them. I've owned a lot in the past, but let them go for various reasons. A couple that I miss, the 0470, that was really nice. The 0609, I would not mind having one of those back. But I just, every time I go to buy another one, I don't know why. And then the only US Kershaw I have at the moment is the bare knuckle. This is a 20 CV limited edition, or dealer exclusive, I should say, from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. But the regular one is great too. These are well under $100, and they seem to constantly be on sale on Smoky Mountain Knife Works site lately. But the action is just great. Honestly, almost as smooth as the 0562, especially now that this one's finally getting broken in. It doesn't get carried as much as my old one did. So my old one was so broken in, it was absolutely just as smooth as any ZT I've ever seen. Subframe lock, just a really cool design. And now it's 20 CV, for well under $100, made in America. Pretty hard to beat that. And lastly, I believe that brings us to our last brand, which would be, sorry, flipping a case around here, Hogue. So I've got a couple of Hogues. The Ritter RSK Mark 1-G2. I think I got that right. This is one of the newer ones at 20 CV. Some of the first runs of them were M390, which is basically, again, potato. Really loved this knife when I reviewed it. Put it in a little battle to the death with the Super Freaky saw a bit ago, and it won. But I still just, for some reason, and it just should have won because it is a little bit better value. These are like $150. But it just seemed that at the end of the day, I carried the Super Freak more, so I sold it. But I did get another one back. I liked it that much that I tracked it down and got it back. And it's, really good ergos. Doug Ritter gets some money. Great guy. Kniferights.org. Fighting for our rights to be able to carry whatever we want to. And I very do much appreciate his work, and as should you. really cool deep carry clip on it. I'm still not in love with the sunburst pattern here. I just don't think I'm ever going to be. It does give you some good grip, but I just don't like the look of it. And this G10, for some reason, no matter what I do to it, it always winds up looking a little dried out pretty quickly. And I think that's just because of all the excessive amount of milling done on it. But it is still a great knife, great action. The axis-y sort of lock. I can't remember what Hogue calls that. Is it Hogue that calls it the able lock? I can't remember who calls it that. But a great knife and a good value. And another good value and another great knife, the Deca. Mine is the Warncliffe one, which is the less popular version, but I do really like it. Eichwitz design, and it's very, very comfortable in the hand. I had a deep carry clip on it that was meant for a ZT for a while. Wound up going back to the standard one. It just ergos again. I did have a bit of a hot spot just because it was raised here. Went back to the standard one. A lot of people really hate this clip. I don't. This is the Blue Lava. You can get them in blacked out and all that stuff. They're like $140. They're very inexpensive, especially for getting, again, 20 CV. And they come razor sharp out of the box. I should have mentioned that with the Ritter also. Hogue, some of the best factory edges you're possibly going to get. And very well built. I handled a prototype of this at Blade Show, and I just kept knocking on the door until they got them in stock, and grabbed one as soon as I possibly could. Fantastic action. It's just, this one gets carried quite a bit. I do very much like the Deca a whole lot. It's one of those knives that I almost kind of forget that I have, and then as soon as I see it, I'm like, oh, I got to carry that, and I put it in my pocket. Maybe that's going to happen today. Who knows? All right, that is it. That is all of my American-made knives. I don't know how many I just went through. I'll try and count them up and put them in the title before we get started. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.